Every spring, gardeners spend real money filling containers with vegetables, and most never actually work out whether that money came back. They just assume it did because the plant grew and something ended up on a plate. That assumption is usually wrong for at least half of what's sitting on a typical patio right now. Some container vegetables genuinely pay for themselves within a single season, sometimes several times over. Others quietly cost more in soil, water, and container space than they'll ever return. Today, I'm giving you the 9 that actually pay you back, with the real numbers behind each one, and the mistake that kills the return on almost every one of them. Drop the vegetable you grow the most of in the comments right now. I read every single one, and it shapes what I cover next. Let's go. Number 1. Tomatoes. A single tomato transplant costs $3 to $5 at most garden centers, and one plant, grown well in a 15 to 20 gallon container, produces 15 to 25 pounds of fruit over a season. At current grocery prices, that's $45 to $75 worth of tomatoes from one plant. Here's the mistake that guts that return before the season even starts. Planting in a container smaller than 15 gallons. A cramped root system stresses the plant, cuts yield dramatically, and makes it far more vulnerable to blossom end rot. Size the container right, and a single tomato plant is one of the highest return vegetables you can grow anywhere on a patio. Number 2. Peppers. A pepper transplant runs about the same as tomatoes, $3 to $4, but the container size requirement is smaller. 5 to 10 gallons is enough for most varieties. A single healthy pepper plant produces 8 to 12 peppers over a season depending on variety, and bell peppers alone often run over $1 each at the store. That's a return of $10 to $15 from a $4 plant, and that's before accounting for how much more peppers cost if you're buying specialty or colored varieties instead of green. Tell me in the comments, are you growing tomatoes, peppers, or something else on your patio this year? Drop your answer below. Number 3. Bush cucumbers. A packet of cucumber seeds costs about $3 and starts 6 or more plants. A single bush cucumber plant, grown in a 5-gallon container with a small trellis, produces 10 to 15 cucumbers over a season. At store prices running $1 or more per cucumber, one plant alone returns $10 to $15, and a full packet of seeds can realistically return over $60 in cucumbers across the season from a $3 invest. Pimento. Number 4. Zucchini and summer squash. This is the highest return vegetable on this entire list, and most gardeners underestimate it badly. A single zucchini plant in a large container can produce 6 to 10 pounds of squash per week at peak season, and over a full season that adds up to well over 40 pounds from one plant. At current prices, that's frequently $60 to $80 of squash from a single $3 seed packet. The mistake that costs people this return is planting too many zucchini plants, thinking more is better. One plant per household is usually more than enough, and the excess just goes to waste on the vine. Number 5. Bush beans. A packet of bush bean seeds costs $2 to $3 and starts 15 or more plants. Each plant produces roughly a pound of beans over the season, which at current prices puts a full packet's return between $30 and $45. They don't need trellising, they mature fast, and because they're direct sown, there's no transplant cost eating into the return at all. Number 6. Lettuce and leafy greens. A packet of loose-leaf lettuce seed costs about $3 and can fill a single wide container. Harvested by cutting outer leaves rather than pulling the whole plant, a single container can be cut from repeatedly for 6 to 8 weeks. At grocery prices for bagged greens running $3 to $4 a container, A single lettuce planting easily returns $20 to $30 across its harvest window from a $3 packet. Here's the fact most gardening content never tells you about greens specifically. Bagged salad greens are one of the most heavily marked up items in the produce section relative to how cheap and fast they are to grow yourself, which makes lettuce one of the single best return on investment crops for a small container garden. If you're not subscribed yet, hit that button right now. YouTube stops delivering content from channels you don't follow, not slows down, stops. This channel breaks down the real numbers behind budget gardening every single week. Number 7. Herbs. A single basil, thyme, or parsley plant costs $3 to $4 at a garden center, but a fresh herb bundle at the grocery store runs $3 to $4 for a package that barely lasts a week before wilting. One herb plant in a container keeps producing for the entire growing season, which means a single $4 plant can realistically replace $40 to $50 worth of grocery store herb purchases across a summer. Number 8. Potatoes. A single seed potato costs about $1 and can be cut into 2 or 3 pieces, each capable of producing its own plant. Grown in a grow bag, each plant typically yields 1 to 3 pounds of potatoes. At current prices, a single grow bag can return $15 to $20 worth of potatoes from $1 or $2 in seed potato cost, and unlike ground-grown potatoes, harvesting means simply dumping the bag out with zero digging and zero damaged tubers. Hit the like button right now. Every like tells YouTube this content is worth showing to people about to spend money at a garden center on plants that won't actually pay them back this season. One tap. Number 9. Green onions and scallions. This is the fastest payback on the entire list. A small bunch of green onions from the grocery store costs about $1, and instead of using the whole thing, you can save the white root ends and regrow them in a shallow container of soil indefinitely. A single $1 bunch, regrown and continuously harvested, can realistically replace $20 to $30 worth of green onion purchases across a season, and the cost to start it is functionally zero since you are going to eat at bunch anyway. Here's your complete return on investment checklist. Tomatoes in a 15 to 20 gallon container for the biggest single plant return. Peppers in 5 to 10 gallons for a fast, reliable payback. Bush cucumbers with a small trellis in 5 gallons. Zucchini, 1 plant only, in your largest available container. Bush beans direct sown, no trellis needed. Lettuce and leafy greens, harvested by the outer leaf to stretch 1 planting across weeks. Herbs planted once, replacing weekly grocery purchases all season. Potatoes in a grow bag for a clean, damage-free harvest. And green onions, regrown from scraps you already own for close to zero cost. 9 vegetables, real numbers, and every one of them genuinely pays for itself before the season is over if you size the container right and skip the common mistakes that quietly kill the return. Subscribe right now if you haven't already. Hit the bell and drop 2 things in the comments before you go. What's the best return you've ever gotten from a single container plant? And which of these 9 are you adding to your patio this season? I read every single comment, and your answers shape the next video directly.